Hello everybody and welcome to this Train Sim World 4 news video. Today we are going to have a look at the disappointing new information that we have. You're looking at it right now. Now I do respect copyright law, so I won't just be playing this in full. As much as I dislike Dovetail and as much as I dislike the contents of this video, and clearly looking at the like-dislike ratio of a lovely, charming 60%, clearly lots of other people don't like this video either. I will show you little bits of it. And I'm sure most of you have already seen this, but in simple terms, if I try and find the parts, that is movement. Come on, where does the train move? Move. There you go. Now, does that sound somewhat similar to this? Just tell me about that. Yeah, and the answer to that is yes, because they copied the sounds. They've copied the sounds. They haven't even like tried to hide it. You can see very clearly here. Have they deleted their post? Their comment? Have they? My word. Oh no, they haven't. They've just pinned something else, so this gets pushed all the way down. I'll dislike this, because why not? Even though dislikes on comments get thrown into the ether, nobody can check what the dislike ratio on them is. So, on Talent One Sounds, we were able to do our reference chips. We weren't able to capture audio from the Talent One IRL. Sadly, whilst OPP were really helpful, a recording trip wasn't something they were able to offer. Now that is the most piss poor excuse I have heard from Dovetail yet. We all ripped into Skyhook when their 187 had recycled sounds from something completely different. But they at least had an excuse. They had COVID, for Christ's sake. These guys, they don't even have COVID. They just didn't record the sounds. Now, there are reasons why they might not have been able to get a sound recording. Sure. But I don't think saying, oh well, OBB wouldn't let us, I don't think that's a good enough excuse. And certainly there have been loads of people trying to defend Dovetail. Oh, it's OBB's fault, or it's not entirely Dovetail's fault. I mean, OBB wouldn't let them. It's like, you got to remember, Dovetail are some underpaid junior game devs and some overpaid upper management sitting in their dockyard studio in Chatham. OBB are a national railway operator. If OBB can't run a special audio recording train for them, they can't run a special audio recording train for them. Or, if it's not in their absolute best interest, and they don't want to, they don't have to. Because their primary concern is not about letting some underpaid interns from Chatham record a train. Their primary interest is to run an efficient railway. Right? So, from that perspective, I think we can more or less relinquish OBB from any kind of blame here. And more or less rest it entirely on Dovetail. Now, this isn't something that I would do without justification, and I have that justification. I can substantiate my thoughts entirely. So there are two scenarios that I think could have led to this happen, because I suspect Dovetail would have tried to make an effort to get the recordings. But I'll talk more about the extended thoughts of that in a minute. But so the two scenarios. One is OBB just wouldn't have let them, under any circumstances, wouldn't have run any special trains for them. and Dovetail didn't realise that until they rocked up and asked, or 2, Dovetail did do that and OBB said yes, and they arrived on that day, but there was some kind of issue and OBB no longer could run that, which, fair enough. Okay, they're a railway, shit happens, right? And their primary concern is not about running a train for some dockyard interns. Now, if it is the first scenario, Dovetail have failed to do their due diligence and are completely incompetent at any kind of managerial anything. And if that is the case, and I don't believe that is, I believe the second scenario is more likely, but if it is the first, then they're really serious. There need to be some questions asked that focus upper management, because Dovetail are clearly incompetent if that was the correct case of affairs. And I'm going to be very interested to see if Dovetail come out and actually tell us why they couldn't get recordings, rather than just ABB wouldn't let us, because that's pretty piss poor excuse. The second scenario is, as I said, that OBB had some kind of operational issue, like I don't know, severe weather or driver shortage or something. They couldn't run a train, right? A special extra train. Fair enough, right? Again, shit happens. It's a railway. They're not to blame, right? In which case, why didn't Dovetail have a backup plan? Like, well, okay, we'll try and do it this day, but if we can't do it that day, then we'll do it the next day. So, in that case even, they still haven't really done their due diligence. They haven't really done any managing. In which case, what do the management of Dovetail do? Like, surely if you're planning to go and get reference material for this route, and you've planned all of it, you planned your trip, surely you would suggest 2 times to get your audio recording. So if one doesn't work, you can go back the next day, or a week after, or something like that. Or if that fails, get the community to try and help you. Or could you not do that because you're trying to keep this a secret so that we don't all spill out and start dissing you? I do not understand why they've had to go to the most piss-weak fallback option and just copy it from what I've heard, the Talent 1 and the Talent 2 sound completely different, and the Talent 1 sounds more similar to an electro start. So if they're going to recycle sounds, they haven't even recycled the most correct fucking sound. So they're so incompetent, not only can they not be able to record the original thing, and not only can they not be able to source it from somewhere else, they can't even source a similar sounding recording from their own existing database. It's ridiculous. And this route actually doesn't look awful. You know, it seems operationally interesting. The backgrounds don't look completely awful in most of the screenshots. Some of them, they do look pretty bad. I don't think there's much that you can pick out from this. It's just sort of showing things. They will do a more in detail stream here eventually, but I mean the backgrounds here, they're certainly better than a Rosa line. Not that that's a high benchmark, but they're not terrible really, and the environment isn't awful. Like the stations clearly have unique modelling and all of that. And the 4024 looks pretty well modelled. I cannot believe they're so incompetent they couldn't just get the fucking sounds right. And it certainly is a disappointment. Lowers my expectations for the route. I'm waiting for... I'm expecting more breakthroughs in their laziness at some point. They have said that the other trains for Train Sim World 4 do have the correct sounds, but it's like the most piss poor thing. And the people who are defending them going, oh well, I actually don't know what it sounds like, so I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, so it's okay, I'm still going to enjoy it. But okay, why don't you just make everything sound like a talent 2 then, or make everything have no sound, or just pull the sound out of your ass, or go the next step, make a fake train, make a fake route. The whole point is that this is a simulator. It is simulator. It's not a toy. I know that Dovetail are clearly trying to brand it more as a toy, and most of their player base are treating it as a toy, which is why they're going, oh well, free roam and points and new HUD and long and fast. And clearly they've sort of thought that an audience who's treating this as a toy don't give a fuck about whether it's correct or not. Because if you remember back in 2017 when Train Sim World CSX Heavy Haul was first announced, it was heralded as a breakthrough in simulation, and they wanted to get everything perfect. And in GWE again, they were so outwardly brandishing, oh well, it's as perfect as we can get it. And now they're going, oh yeah, we sort of forgot to get a recording, but everything else is alright. Anyway, can you give us $100 and you can have it 5 days early? And they're doing that every year now, apparently, it seems. It's not acceptable. And I don't even, like, if I wasn't concerned for the wider audience, I wouldn't have made a fuss, because I'm on PC, right? And someone who cares enough will, at some point, probably make a sound pack for this. And, you know, problem solved. I can download the sound pack. I'll have proper sounds, right? But if someone on the community can make a sound pack for free, how come the company that is now owned by a multi-million-dollar development and publisher can't do it with their paid professionals? It's outrageous. Actually outrageous. Anyway, we'll wait and see what happens here, I guess. My live stream tomorrow, I will certainly be discussing the outcomes of the Vorarlberg stream, the Vorarlberg preview stream. Still haven't quite decided what I'm going to do in the live stream tomorrow. Figure it out. Probably viewers choose routes or something. But be there. That'll be 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Whatever that is in your time zone, I am not sure. Join my Discord server and it will be there. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching the Antelope Valley overview. I know you've all been asking for it. That will come on Sunday. Because I just wanted to push things back just to accommodate this. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.